Hi, I'm JL Fields with the Center for Creative Leadership, and I'm here to talk to you about quick and easy ways to add more beans and legumes into your plant-based diet. A lot of us grew up with meat as the centerpiece on our plate. I did. I'm from Iowa, and it always started with meat. Then there were some potatoes, and occasionally we'd have a salad, usually in January when mom and dad went on a diet. So when I went vegetarian and then plant-based, I had to rethink my plate. And the game changer was realizing that legumes and beans can fill that spot on your plate, because it's not exactly what you think. Okay, we know beans and legumes, so chickpeas and black beans and navy beans and red beans. There's lentils. Did you know that quinoa is considered an honorary legume? So you could have a quinoa salad and you're getting in a bean or a legume. Peanuts are legumes. Have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, you just had beans for lunch. So there are really easy ways to do it, and then there are ways to really kind of make it fancy and fun without a lot of time, and I'm going to show you two of them today. I'm going to be showing you how to make a very quick Mediterranean beans with greens dish that is perfect for dinner and great for entertaining and very, very fast. And I'm going to show you how to make a not tuna sandwich where the star is the chickpea. I'm going to do both at the same time. We'll see how this goes. I'm going to start with dinner just because it needs to cook a little bit longer. So you start with, did I mention this is quick and easy? This is my confession. Actually, it's canned everything. These are stewed or diced tomatoes that already have basil and oregano in it because I'm what's called a lazy cook. I like to eat healthy. I love delicious food. I don't want to spend my life in the kitchen. So I start with the canned tomatoes. They have the oregano, they have the basil in it, and then I'm going to add some veggie broth, about a half a cup. And then I'm going to add canned beans. Any kind of bean is great. I love cannellinis or northern navy beans. They're wonderful in this. It's very Mediterranean. And you can cook your own beans, of course, but these are canned. And then what I consider the star of this dish, olives. So notice that in this particular mixture we have going on, there's no need to add salt and there's no need to add oil because we've got olives that have a nice sodium flavor anyway. And they're natural and yummy fat. So while that's going, I'm gonna let that simmer and we're gonna switch over to the not tuna salad, or what I call chickpea salad. So this is so simple. First off, think about your favorite tuna salad growing up if you liked tuna salad. If you ate chicken salad, think about that. Whatever the ingredients were, use them. So recipes, as far as I'm concerned, are simply a guide for inspiration. I don't know about you, but when I look at a recipe, I actually don't follow it. I look at it and go, good idea, and now I'm going to change the following 3 things. So I will not be offended if you want to do this differently. This is how I had tuna salad growing up. So first we start with the chickpeas. Notice I'm putting it in a food processor. And the reason I'm putting it in a food processor is I'm just going to pulse it really quickly to make it start to flake, so it kind of has that flakiness of a tuna. So not too much because you don't want it to like liquefy or anything. And look at that. I suddenly have a nice and flaky chickpea. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it in this bowl. And I might even hold that bowl up so you can kind of see the consistency of the chickpea because it's really fun and probably a little surprising. So if you look at that, you're going to be able to see the flakiness of the chickpea. So this has become the base. So now I'm going to use veganaise. Veganaise? That's right. It's a vegan mayonnaise. There's also a brand called Nayonaise. You can find these in almost any store these days. So I'm going to put a little bit of my vegan mayo in. And then I'm going to add celery, because that's how my mom did it. Onion, because why not? Sweet relish, that's how we did it in my house. And tomato. Some people look at me like I'm really weird with the tomato, but that's just what I had. And you know, I like to cook with what I grew up with. But then here are the things that make it a little bit more like that tuna, but not tuna, is I'm going to use dulse flakes. Dulse flakes are a seaweed. So think about it. Fish are in the sea, seaweeds are in the sea, seaweeds are plant-based. And they give you that smell that's familiar. So I'm just going to use a little bit of the dulse flakes to kind of give it that seaweed flavor. And seaweed is actually terrific for you on a plant-based diet. So you're going to want to try that. Then I'm going to use black salt, which I know, I'm not wrong. It's pink, but it's actually black salt. And the reason I use it is because it gives it a bit of a sulfur scent and aroma. And you might think that sounds weird, but it's going to remind you a little bit of an egg salad if you think about it. Okay, so I just put eggs and no tuna together in one salad, but that's how I roll. So we're just going to mix this up really quickly. You can serve this up right away, which I'm going to do for my lovely friends in the audience. But if you're going to have people over, mix it up and then put it in an airtight container and let it sit in the refrigerator for an hour or so and let all those all the flavors come together, and it's just going to be wonderful, and people are going to be so surprised. I live in what we call a multivore house. I follow a plant-based diet. My husband does not. And so I always kind of consider it my personal challenge to make something that feels familiar to him. And so he doesn't eat tuna salad anymore because he can eat my no tuna salad. Look at that. Doesn't that look great? Is that okay that I said that about my own food? I think it looks great. I'm excited. I can't wait for you guys to try it. So there we go. We're going to slice that up in a minute. So how I would serve it, let me just show you real quick so we can move on to the beans and greens, is I would just roll this up. It's on a whole wheat tortilla with some lettuce. Lunch is served. Doesn't that look great? So let's move on. Oh yeah, so our beans and our tomatoes and our olives have come to a really nice boil, and that's all you have to do with it. But what I like to do is finish it off. When I'm making beans, I rarely use salt. Well, let me rephrase that. Beans need salt. Before I put salt in, I always use lemon or lime juice first, because sometimes that citrus gives you exactly what you need, and then you'll use less of it. And the citrus is going to come in with these greens. So I'm just putting a little bit of lemon juice in here, and I'm going to let this sit because I'm about to do something really fun. Okay, so I'm going to move this off. Now we're going to do a really, really quick saute on greens. One of my favorite ways to make greens is a super quick saute. There's a little olive oil here. If you don't use olive oil, no problem. Use more veggie broth. Veggie broth is a great way to saute veggies. So I'm going to use just a little bit, and it was probably about a half a teaspoon, maybe a teaspoon. And we're going to get this heated up, and I have chopped up some garlic. If you love garlic, garlic and greens is one of the most amazing things ever. So get this garlic going, and then we are going to do a flash saute of arugula. So if you don't know what flash saute means, it's just a really quick way to saute a green. I like raw greens, like I like to make salads, but then I also like to have them cooked, but I still like that crunch of a salad or a raw green. A flash saute gives you a little bit of both. It wilts the vegetable down just a little bit, but you know you're eating it. Now I'm using arugula. So we're gonna do this very quick flash saute with the greens. Arugula cooks really quickly. You can do this with kale or spinach or whatever your favorite green is, but there's something about the Mediterranean part of this dish that arugula just makes sense. So I put it in my olive oil with my garlic, and then here's what I love to do when I'm sauteing greens. I add more lemon juice, and I don't know if you can see that. I'm gonna move this right here. And so this is gonna be a really, really quick saute, and then I'm gonna use one of my favorite kitchen utensils. Do you guys use tongs in the audience? Tongs are great for everything. This, tossing a salad, pulling a dish out of the oven. So it's great to have on hand because it'll help you do anything. So did you see, well, I wish you could smell it. Oh, garlic and lemon juice and arugula. Oh, it's nothing better than that. And truthfully, we're done. That's how quick it is, because I did mention that I like a quick and easy meal, right? So watch how this is going to plate up for us. Some really quick flash sauteed greens. We're going to spoon on these beans with the tomatoes and the olives. I cannot wait till you guys try this. You're really going to like it. I hope you noticed that that was a less than 10-minute meal. You have greens, you have beans, you have tomatoes, and if you want, you can serve this over a hearty cooked grain, like pearled barley or farro, both Italian grains, are a perfect way to finish off this Mediterranean dish. So there you go. Enjoy.